guys see my raven? Or not my raven, my robin. Do you see my robin? Where are you going? What are you doing? Huh? Come on. Yeah. I know. You're just bold, aren't you? Where are you going? You just don't know, do you? Okay, I'm in your way. I'm gonna go this way. You go that way. Deal? Cool. Hey guys, it's Gretchen with Urban Reiki. I actually did not come out here to see my raven robin. Hi Robin. Oh, he went to get a worm. I was definitely in his way. Interrupted lunchtime. My bad. Anyway, I came out here to talk to you about catnip. We were on staycation this last week, and I was inadvertently exposed to someone who tested positive for COVID, so I'm out until I get my negative test results back. My husband as well, because if I'm exposed, he's exposed. We still like each other enough to kiss each other, so there's that. Anyway, I am here today for catnip. Back here. See? He's growing right next to my oregano, so it might be a little hard to disentangle the two. But here, there's the catnip back here. These guys, my bay and the oregano. Anyway, catnip, everybody, even if you've never had a cat, you know exactly what catnip does to cats. It like makes them insane. Well, about 70% of cats, 30% of cats are immune to it. Kittens don't really get it. It's the, and I'm gonna butcher it, starts with an N. It's the main constituent. It hits your olfactory, or their olfactory senses. It works like a pheromone and like sends them into overdrive. Even neutered cats are affected by it. It still like makes them want to have sex. Anyway, dogs are not affected quite the same. It may make them a little crazier. If you want to give like the catnip for dogs, it's going to be anise seed. So just Google an anise seed dog treat recipe, and you can have the same effect for your animals. Now let's get to the effects, the herbalism portions of catnip. Catnip is really a great herb to have in your garden. One, it's a mint family, so you know that you really won't have to do much in way of taking care of it. Just plant it and let it go. It will become invasive though if you don't kind of keep it under control, keep it pruned back, or just plant it into a pot. In the garden, it does amazing things. It keeps away gnats, flies, mosquitoes, aphids, worms, different garden pests. It's a very good companion plant for tomatoes, valerian. It's a good companion plant for broccoli. A lot of these crops that are affected by like hornworms, all of these things, you can keep pesticides out of your garden by companion planting. Catnip also works really well with people. It's a nice sedative. It is part of the mint family, so it will sprawl and grow like mint. You'll have to keep it under control. It will start to attract cats when it goes into flower, which mine is starting to go into flower now, but I have enough other animals in my yard where I don't think the stray cats in the neighborhood are going to be an issue. When you harvest it, you do want to harvest it while it is in flower and dry it. You can do this a couple different ways. You can do the hang and dry method. You just tie the little twine to it, hang it up in your kitchen. But as long as the air is circulating and there's no mold or moisture, and you get some nice, a good consistency in your dryness. Or you can cut it, wash it, pull all the leaves off and dry it on a screen outside. Just make sure you dry it out of the sun and out of the wind. That way it doesn't collect any pollens from plants that you may be allergic to, and the sun will degrade some of its properties after it's been cut. I prefer the twine and just kind of hang it in my kitchen method. That way I can keep a better watch on it for mold and such. Hey, my bird's back. Look. Hi, guy. What you doing? I know. Yeah. Hello. You looking for more worms? No? Sorry, I sat up a little suddenly. I probably startled you. All right, a couple more things of catnip and then I'm going back in because it's a little warm out here today. I think it's like 88, but real feel something like 98, so you can kind of guess at the humidity level. Probably see little sweat beads on my little girl mustache. Shh. Anyway, catnip for people. Babies, it's been used historically for babies with colic and babies for teething issues. You don't want to give them a lot. You're gonna basically take some fresh leaves, I would say about a 1/4 cup loosely packed fresh leaves. If you're using dried leaves, I would use maybe a tablespoon of dried leaves for every 2 cups of water. Boil the water, put it over your herbs, be they fresh or they dry, and steep it for about 10 minutes. Strain it, let it cool. And then for babies with colic, do not give them very much. It doesn't take very much. I would put maybe 1/2 ounce in their bottle with their breast milk or whatever. If you're giving them whatever it is that you're giving them for colic, put it in with their breast milk or whatever. Anyway, only about 1/2 ounce, and that should calm their stomachs down. When they get to teething status, and you're going to cut up some cloth, soak it in that same tea, throw it in the freezer, and then just let them kind of chew on that cloth as the catnip tea dries or thaws out on it, and they'll suck in just enough to where it will not only soothe their sore gums and their jaw. The chewing on the frozen cloth helps that too, and it also helps numb it. But catnip has a nice nervine property, so it will keep them calm, and it's also got anti-inflammatory, so it helps them cut their teeth through by keeping the gums from becoming massively inflamed. My granddaughter has had really bad time with teething. Her whole jaw got inflamed. And then for people, catnip tea is it's an amazing nervine if you have problems with anxiety or even insomnia. Helps with digestion issues. Just do the same type of tea that you would for an infant, but I always throw in another mix of other herbs in there. Like for instance, today we had a borage leaf, tulsi, catnip, lemongrass tea, all from the garden. The borage is over there. Catnip is there, tulsi's there, and the lemongrass we keep up towards the house because it does keep mosquitoes away as well. You can also take the leaves of the catnip plant and rub it on you, and the oil is supposed to keep mosquitoes, gnats, flies, other little biting insects away from you for a few hours. I have not tried that yet. I really need to try that because our yard has got a lot of mosquitoes. Not over in this area because they do not like the smell of catnip. So that is actually one plant that I will vouch does work against mosquitoes. The lemongrass works a little bit, not as much as I had hoped. I know that citronella eucalyptus or lemon eucalyptus has more citronella in it than a citronella plant, so that would work really well. But where I live, lemon eucalyptus isn't going to make it more than one season, and I'm not spending $30 every year to watch a tree die. So catnip's probably going to be my next try, and I'll let you know how that goes. If it works out really well, then I'll definitely probably do another little vlog and try to figure out which chemical constituent it is that's in common with all of these plants that catnip has in spades that the mosquitoes don't like. Anyway, until next time, and hopefully our negative test results for this lovely COVID exposure thing. Namaste. One more thing about catnip before I forget. It's not for pregnant women. It does work on the smooth muscle wall. So consider that it works on your uterus, which is good news if you're not pregnant and have cramps, because it will help you get rid of cramps. Pregnant women, you can use it after you've had the baby. When you ingest herbs in tea form, your baby will ingest that in breast milk form. So if you're ingesting a, say, chamomile catnip tea while you're breastfeeding, you'll probably have a very calm child who doesn't have a lot of issues teething. Also, catnip tea, the cloths, if you soak them in the catnip tea and put it on your breast, will help keep your breasts from becoming super sore when breastfeeding. But again, you cannot have it while you're pregnant. So that's my contraindication. Till next time, namaste.